Hi everybody, my name is Mr. Jville. Welcome to an episode of the Why Play Gaming Review Show, little gaming reviews I do to enhance the reviews I leave on the Steam store. Today I am reviewing a game, and I hope I pronounced this right, called Yayo, A Rain's Tale. I truly hope I've pronounced that correct. Or it's Ayo or Io. I can't really pronounce it, and unfortunately this game doesn't actually have any voice acting in it, so no one says the name other than in the trailer, when the trailer basically says it at the end in this big Io style. Anyway, I digress. The point of this little part of the video at the beginning is to tell you that I'm going to show you some gameplay footage, but my videos are 30 minutes long. I tried to cram everything down into a concise 30 minutes of gameplay, which is the first 30 minutes of gameplay you're going to see. Just want to tell you some facts about the game first. It is, from what I was told, a charity-based game. It was developed to highlight issues in sub-Sahara Africa that women and young girls have to deal with on a daily basis, and that's the basis behind the game. It's based on the daily duties of women and young girls having to go and fetch water for their families and their villages, because there isn't any clean water in parts of sub-Sahara Africa. Well, parts of Africa basically that don't have clean water. When I was given this by a friend of mine to review, because I was given this copy for free, I looked at them as if to say, like, do they make games based on that? And apparently they do. And then it made me think about, we don't really have many games like this in the industry that sort of make you think about real world issues like this. The game does really well to sort of take your mind off the issue, but in the background you have to think, somewhere in Africa there is a girl doing this adventure without the storm, buffaloes and lava monsters, but there is someone out there that's doing this. Anyway, I'm digressing. I will go over the features and the prices and my overall feelings at the end of the video. I'll come back once I've showed you some gameplay, but I just wanted to warn you now, this is going to be 30 minutes and I will try to cram everything down into 30 minutes. So yes, let's get into some gameplay now. Hey, so we're now into the game. Lovely little bit of an intro music there for you. So this is Io, A Rain's Tale, and this is the main menu for it. Now, I try to cover my videos in 30 minutes as I said, but things can go a little bit longer than 30 minutes. So I base my reviews on a merit system of 10 merits to get a score out of 10. The menu system is awesome, and it gets a point for its interactiveness and its simpleness. As do the controls for the game, but we'll go into that in a sec when I go through the feature list of the game. So this is the menu, and normally when you first get it, you'll get new game settings and quit. I've already played the game slightly, so I have continue and select. I won't go into the level select because I did just notice a bug which I have to report after this video, and that is, if you do what I have done, you get stuck in a level select. But anyway, let's go into the settings and show you your settings page. Your settings page is very simple. It's what you would expect on most PC games. Now this is only available for PC / Apple Mac. It's available on Steam and Apple Mac. The links to them will be in the description below. So you have your settings, music, which I have to say the music is really, I want the soundtrack basically. I want to buy a soundtrack of this game. Quality is good, full screen, and the controls. This can be played with both controller and keyboard. I'm playing with keyboard and mouse, though I believe you just play with the keyboard. You actually don't need a mouse for anything because it's literally just all on keyboard. Again, if you are a Steam Link user, this is highly recommended to pick up to chill out and sit on a couch and be indulged in a lovely little story. So let's dive into the story. Now I'm not going to do too much, I'm only going to do 2 sort of mini chapters basically, which isn't, it sounds a lot but it's not. In the bottom right hand corner there are collectibles. There's 54 of these little blue flames that you have to collect, so that adds to the replayability. If I said this before, there is no voice acting, so I don't know if I mentioned it. I wasn't too sure how you pronounce IO's name, but yeah, I. So it's all text-based reading. The animation style, the artwork that you just seen there is it's pretty much like that all the way through. And to be honest, you don't need voice actors. You don't need anything fancy. This game is pretty good in what it is. The animations are, it's like watching a little cartoon. So controls wise, it is very, very simple to control. It's ASDW, WAS keys or up and down on your arrow keys, spacebar to jump. Z and J are supposed to do something, but at the moment they don't do anything. That might come later in the story though. You might get some special powers. So we are off on a journey to go and get water for this village. So as I said, the art style just works really well for this side scrolling. The music is really nice. So that is the end of the first chapter / level. We're on to the second level now. Against the odds. Again, this game was created to highlight the issues that UNICEF are facing every day, where a young girl like Io has to go and fetch water and face many challenges and odds in getting that water, like day and night cycles. I'm trying to remember some of the facts that I was reading. It was something like collectively over 200 million hours a day across sub-Sahara Africa are spent by young girls like Io collecting water for their families and such. So here we have the first obstacles. As you can see on the screen, there's some little colourful hints basically that if you touch them you'll die. So I'll just do that now. That wasn't me like not jumping in time, I just want to show you the death animation. So you jump over these, and I think if you won't die instantly if you hit them. Oh no, I think the red one might actually kill you instantly. Yeah, sorry, right. So there's different coloured environmental hazards, like thorn bushes. So the purple ones will only injure you, the red ones will actually kill you instantly. And these are some of the environmental hazards that you'll have to face along the way. Later on, the story gets a little bit crazy with lava caves and such like that. There will be a trailer for the game at the end of this review for you to have a little bit of a watch. And then, as I said, all the links to the game will be in the channel description, where you can see the text-based version of the game and my scores and how I score the game. I did not mean to do that. I'm not very good at platformers. It has a very Rayman feel to it. Rayman's pretty much the only platform I've actually ever played, so I can only compare it to that. Don't normally play platformers. So, getting a few collectibles. Oh. So it is quite challenging. I mean, I'm doing it on a keyboard and mouse. I would imagine it is easier on a controller to play. Graphics are just amazing. Sound effects are awesome. And I just want to point out, I'm not just saying this because it's a charity game and I want to be nice to the charity. And I've got it for free. I'm saying it because it genuinely is a nice game to play. Normally I'm playing zombie shooters, or if you have a look at some of my other videos, it's very violent games that I play. So to take time out and take something that's a little bit more chilled out and relaxed is really nice. And also something that like is thought-provoking, where like you actually have to think, hey, somewhere out there are kids doing this in the world. And as I said at the beginning of the video, there isn't many games out there that educate you or make you sit and think, you know, wow, you know, there's someone out there that has to do this, and I basically can just go to a tap and get water. I don't know how much of the proceeds of the game are going to UNICEF. I should have probably done that little bit of research before making the video, but I do know that some are definitely going towards UNICEF, as well as, you know, highlighting the work that UNICEF do. Probably saying their name wrong as well, so I do apologise to the chief. Well, yeah, it's UNICEF. I'm sure it's UNICEF. So this is Ink Line Limited is the publishers who make this, and Fair Play Labs. I've never heard of them before till now, so if you want to check them out on their Facebook links of their future developments, I'll post links to that as well. So I could see kids enjoying this. I could see anyone of any age really who loves their side-scrolling adventure puzzle games will love this. There is puzzles, there is a day and night cycle, there is a main bad guy later on in the story. He's in the trailer and I don't really want to say too much and give too much of the story away. Here's one of our challenges coming up right now, and that is the ox, basically, the thunderstorm. Now I think that thunderstorm is called J.A. Thunderstorm, and he's like the main bad guy or something, and he's going to challenge you all through this game as you progress through the story to get water for your village. This is where the fantasy sort of aspect comes into it, but at the same time, I could imagine a person in Africa having to go across the desert and be stuck in the sandstorm. And we are going to come up to where I fall down a cave, basically. So I could imagine stuff like this happening in the real world, and that frightens me that like somewhere out there is a kid having to walk through a sandstorm with a bucket or a fuel can to get water. And the whole idea of this is to highlight that, you know, UNICEF are doing work to get clean water to these villagers, and I believe that's what the proceeds of the game are going towards, is to provide clean water so that young women don't have to do this, because from what I was reading when I was telling you about them, collectively it takes like there's over 2 million hours spent collecting water. That leaves little time for education. So because they have to spend all this time collecting water, travelling across to a well and then back, they have no quality of life, no education, and I believe that's what UNICEF want to address and do with the proceeds of this game. And we are into the third chapter of the game now, and this is pretty much where I'm going to wind it down and give you my overall thoughts and opinions. I truly hope that no kid out there had to do what poor Io has just done, which is fall down a hole and land in a cave. So we are into the third level. There is a little one of them floating collectible things down there, but I don't know how to get to that one because this is the level I got up to. And this is pretty much where I get stuck because I am useless at puzzles and platformers. This part up here now. It's coming. It's not this bit. Oh. Haha! When I tried that last night, it took me like 10 attempts. I'm really proud of myself because that took me 10 attempts when I tried the game out yesterday. Again, the game came out on the 9th of November. It's the 10th when this is uploaded, and you're probably reading or watching this on YouTube or the Steam page. It's the 10th of November. I said October, sorry. It came out the 9th of November. It is discounted at the moment at 30% off till the 16th of November, at which time it will go up to a full price of, well, for me in the UK it's round about £6.50. At the moment it's discounted at £4. I'm not too sure what your local currency is. You will have to look that up yourself. I definitely can't go that way. Oh, puzzle time. Let's see. Oh no! Oh no! You can't go further down. Oh, lucky. So yeah, it is discounted at the moment. You'll have to convert that into your own currency, but Steam will tell you the price on your page. So yeah, it's discounted at 30% off till the 16th of November. I highly recommend picking it up now at the discounted price, or even like at its full price of £6. Again, it's for charity. It's a cool little game. Even if it like, I'm trying to think if I would buy this. Why would I play this type of game? Because at the end of the day, that's the name of the show. Why would you play this type of game? I would say if you're looking for something that's a little bit charming and different to your usual platformers, this definitely has it. The storyline is quite unique. I'm not doing something right, I'm sure I'm not, because I did this yesterday. Is there a button that I have to press? Am I missing a... There might actually be a crouch key and I'm just not too sure, but yeah. Or maybe I need to unlock some special powers, I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, if I took away the fact that it was for charity and it was just a normal developer, would I have bought this game? And my answer is yeah. If I was into platformers and puzzles, I would definitely say yes. Pick this game up. It is awesome. don't think I'm going to be able to... Right, I died there, so I'm going to just leave it there and come out of the game and talk about some of its functions and show you the... You can reset to a checkpoint if you get stuck as well. Show you some of the other functions. So now in the bottom right hand corner you can see that we have 9 out of 54, and we have the continue, the level select. The level select will now work because I actually have unlocked levels where before if you go in and there's no levels it won't let you go back. That's a little bug that I found. So that was Lost Inside. So we've done the 3 sort of ish levels. That gives you a little bit of a taste and flavour for the game that you're going to be purchasing. So I'm going to quit and go back to my webcam, hopefully. Hopefully it will look at my webcam. And it is! It's actually looking at my webcam. Great, I don't have to do editing. We have 15 minutes left. I'm not going to record the whole 15 minutes because you've pretty much seen what you needed to see there about the game. I am just going to pull up some information that I was reading just before, which was the features list of the game. It does feature a day and night cycle. You solve puzzles through pushing boulders to advance, which I haven't figured that part out because there's little parts of the level there where I feel like I should be crouching, but there's only 2 keys, which is Z and J, and when you press them nothing seems to happen. So I think that they may come into the game later on because your granddad that you see in there gave you a bracelet, and in the trailer, which is going to come in a couple of seconds once I stop babbling on to you, is some pretty funky powers. So at the heart of this game, it highlights an issue that people need to think about, which is there are still places out there that are not as lucky as ourselves to just go and get water and stuff. It's still an issue that goes on today. So all the links to the UNICEF organisation where you can read more about the struggles of women who go through this will be in the description below, as are all the links to the games and its pages and such. The features basically on the Steam store: you experience day and night cycles on your journey, solve puzzles through pushing boulders to advance. Sorry, I can't even read. Withstand the harsh desert heat and fight for strength and emotional balance, and face challenging enemies and confront Jar the Thunderstorm. I think Jar the Thunderstorm was that big bull that was pushing us away. Though that was a sandstorm, I think he has other elements, so there'll be like a rainstorm, hurricanes and stuff like that. He's in the trailer. I'm just not too sure who Jar was. And there's hidden paths and avoid natural hazards. Well, you saw I didn't avoid the natural hazards, and that makes me wonder about like those thorn bushes, which could be poisonous and such. Africa's probably full of them, and there's a kid. I keep saying this. There's a kid out there, and it's a game that I just wouldn't normally play, and it made me sit and think, wow, there is some that this happens and stuff. There are some games out there that make me think about like real life issues and stuff. But yeah, the game's about a vicious circle that sheds light on a young girl who regularly carries water, who fetches water courageously and with her duty sheds many light on struggling girls in sub-Sahara Africa who live in communities that have no access to clean water, and a daily burden of fetching water is carried by most women and children who go on journeys to distant sources and return home shouldering 40-pound containers filled with water. I didn't read that before playing the game. For their families. 40-pound container, that's huge. That there's the part that I did read, which was, with no time left for education, many women are denied the opportunity to develop themselves and their communities. An estimated 2 million hours are spent each day on fetching water around the world. So obviously that's collectively, it's not one girl spending 200 hours, 2 million hours. Leaving both girls and women little opportunity to break this cycle. And that's where UNICEF and this game sort of comes in. The proceeds of the game will help to get clean water and pipes for these people and such. Again, the aim of the show is called Why Play, and I tried to ask the question why you would play a game. Specifically this one. If you are looking for a challenging platformer and a game that will make you think about real life consequences, as I have been babbling on about this whole video, this game is definitely for you. It has amazing sound effects. The soundtrack, the music is awesome. I think if you are watching this, developers, get that soundtrack together and your music and put that on your Steam store as an optional payment. That needs to be a must. The soundtracks are awesome. I watched someone else who was a little bit ahead of me and the music was a little bit upbeat and stuff. So definitely offer your soundtrack as an optional £1 or something. Music is awesome. Controls are dead simple. You don't even need to use the mouse, it's just a keyboard. And if you play with a controller, you can use an Xbox controller. I did play with an Xbox controller last night and it did work. Graphics are simple. It's colourful. It's not in your face sort of dark and gritty like some side-scrolling games I've played, like Aftermath and stuff like that. It doesn't, although it highlights a very taboo issue that not many people talk about, it does it in a colourful and charming way. So like you don't feel like you're playing this sort of dreary, issue type of game. It feels like, again, I said, if this was made by a normal developer who didn't have all this sort of charity and information surrounding it, if they just came out as a rain tale and just basically said this is a girl's struggle to go and get water for her family and stuff, and didn't really highlight the fact that this happens in real life, I would probably still buy that game. I know people who would probably still buy that platformer game. If this had been shown at the E3 Expo earlier this year in the Xbox Indie Marketplace, I could see this game, being picked up by a lot of people. It saddens me that it's not, and it hasn't had the coverage that I feel it should. So that's basically what I hope to achieve with this video and this review. Out of a score of 10, animations, gameplay, music, menu systems, soundtrack, story, content, replayability, I'm gonna give this a 9. It didn't get the 10 because once you played the game, that's pretty much it. You've seen the story. Unless they will eventually go on more. I don't think there is much replayability in this other than collecting the orbs and going back and getting those little blue things. I could be wrong, but I'm going to give this a good 9 out of 10. For what it is a really charming little game. And yeah, it pretty much has all the features and stuff like that. I actually should be giving this 10 out of 10. I'm sitting here thinking that I'm being a little bit critical. No, I'm actually going to take that back. Sorry. I'm going to give this 10 out of 10. Yeah, actually, I'm not doing that because it's a charity case or anything like that. I'm just thinking, if I was to buy this in a Steam summer sale, I would enjoy that really, really well. I actually enjoyed that. It took me away from playing most of my normal games. So yeah, actually, the more I'm thinking about it now, I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10 score. It is really, really cool little game to have. and I highly recommend you pick it up. Anyway, that has been a Why Play gaming review from myself, Mr. Jville. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did manage to buy the game, please let me know in the comment section below or on the comment section of the Steam review. Please like the Steam review if you did like it, or downvote it if you didn't like it. If you do downvote it, please tell me why you disliked the review. It only helps me get better at making better reviews to enhance you buying stuff off Steam. Hey, capitalism. If you missed my last review, I feel terrible after doing a review like this and then plugging in my social stuff. If you did like this review, please like, favourite and subscribe to my channel. If you missed my last review about Riskers, a GTA style game, please go check that out. That was 3 weeks ago. And I will have more reviews coming up soon. So thank you and goodbye.
Whoa, 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 whoa.